Hi. So I wanted to talk about my homeschool plan for my 10-year-old. He's going into the 4th grade, and he's been homeschooled since the very beginning. And he's actually the reason that I started homeschooling. So he had some speech issues when he was younger and had to have speech therapy to learn how to speak. And he was always like about a year behind his other kids his age. So when we began homeschooling, he had like a 3-second attention span. Like, seriously, I had no idea how he would even function in regular school because he was so like go, go, go all the time. And I didn't want anybody to say like the word ADD out loud because I didn't know for sure, but I just knew he was all boy. So that's kind of how I approached it. I was like, he's all boy, and I'm going to let him be all boy as long as I can. So when we started school, I definitely had this idea that everything had to be structured. It was like I didn't want him to be in school, but then I wanted to do school at home. So that was one thing that I learned about homeschooling or that I learned now, I didn't know then, is that we do school at home so it doesn't have to look like school. So in the beginning, I don't feel like we were very successful. In fact, he was not reading in kindergarten. He was not reading in 1st grade. And I thought, oh my goodness, I've totally failed. And luckily, I had lots of homeschool moms who told me, you're not a failure, just one thing at a time, find what works for him. And I realized like that is why I wanted to do school, because I wanted to give him an individualized education. And so we totally took a break from all curriculum. We just did 5 in a row for a year, and someone told me about Hooked on Phonics. So we did Hooked on Phonics. It was amazing. I mean, in 1 year, this was like the year he was 8 years old, he went through all the kindergarten curriculum really fast. And then he did all the 1st grade, and then he did all the 2nd grade. And then going into 3rd grade last year, he was reading chapter books. So I would consider him a very strong reader right now, going into 4th grade, and he loves to learn. He just like absorbs information. And so last year, we kind of had a family crisis. We had a family member who got diagnosed with cancer, not in our family, but it was my grandfather. And so we were traveling a lot back and forth, and he was like a father to me. So it was just heart-wrenching. And we basically did the read aloud revival and just did tons of reading out loud last year. We probably read 50 books last year. And we did some copy work, and they did some math. You know, Jacob, my 10-year-old, he did multiplication tables, and we're about halfway through learning those right now. And so going into 4th grade, I was like, I need structure now. Like, I need a plan. Like, I don't want to just wake up and be like, okay, we're going to read this book again and then talk about it. You know, it's basically what we did last year. And I stumbled upon fun schooling. And I have a baby. Excuse me while I give him some Cheerios, so he'll let me do this. So fun schooling is just, it's everything I love about homeschooling, because it's like the learning and the academics, but it's also creativity. So I had Jacob pick out a journal, and if you're interested in fun schooling, that's the first step, is picking out a journal. And Jacob chose Minecraft. Of course, he loves Minecraft. He's very into Minecraft. And when you start, it tells you to pick 8 subjects that you want to learn about. So you pick, they pick 8 subjects that they want to study, and 4 of them have to kind of be social studies, math, science, history. And then as you go throughout the book, it asks them to, like, let's see, copy a paragraph from your library book. So there's copy work and writing and grammar, and draw a picture from your book, and pick a book that you want to study today and talk about it. What do you want to learn about? So what I liked about this too is that it's self-directed. So he gets to pick what he wants to learn about every day. And the 8 subjects that he chose were Minecraft, of course, mythology, plants, travel, astronomy, how to draw dinosaurs, very important, Titanic, and world records. So after we made this list, I went onto thriftbooks.com, which I don't get paid, to give them a shout out. I love thrift books. Like, that's every year homeschooling, I end up there and spend a lot of money. So thriftbooks.com, I highly recommend. So the first book I got was Guinness Book of World Records for 2018. I didn't realize it was going to be black and white when I bought it, but it was like $3.79. So my son's already been looking through it. He thinks it's really cool. And as part of the journal, several days, it'll tell you to go on YouTube and find something you're interested in, like a documentary. And so I actually went on YouTube a couple weeks ago and made a playlist for my son. And the Guinness Book of World Records has an amazing video list. And so I picked some really funny, really interesting record breakers and put that on his playlist for him to watch on those days. So, okay, so we have the Titanic. I already had this book, Magic Treehouse series. We have all the Magic Treehouse series books. My kids love them. We read a lot of them last year for our curriculum. And so I just pulled those out of his room. So it's just 2 less things I had to buy. For plants, I got this book because it's story form and I thought it would be enjoyable. But I also bought this like huge handbook. Let's see if I can even get it out. Because my daughter actually wanted to learn about plants too. So I got this off Thrift Books. So $3.79 for this huge book. It's much more scientific. So I wanted to get both of those. For astronomy, I got Bachelor Science. And someone told me about Bachelor Science when they were doing fun schooling. So it's just very kid friendly. It's lots of facts, but kid friendly. And my son's really into astronomy and aliens and things like that. He's very into conspiracy theories. So I try not to feed that too much, but I figured, the space end of it is good. So traveling, this book is so cool. I don't remember if I got this on Thrift. I think I did get it on Thrift Books. My husband and I have been reading through this and getting the travel bug. So as you go through, it has a page on every single country in the world. So look, there's like Bulgaria, Macedonia, and it has like lesser known facts. So things that you might not know just from watching a documentary or it's really interesting. And to go with the travel book, he already had this, the Brick City. He loves to build Legos. And this has just different architectural phenomenons from around the world and then what they look like in brick form. So I just stuck that in there in his little basket. So if he wants to look through it one day, he can. It kind of goes with the travel book. The Unofficial Guide to Minecraft, Everything You Need to Know. He's already, I think, read this entire book and it just got here like 4 weeks ago. So, but it's going to be in his basket for this year. The baby calls. He's like, I'm going to need to be fed. There you go, dude. So more Basher books. Here's mythology. This is super fun. I've already been reading about some of the Norse mythology because that's what my son is really into right now. This has Greek mythology and Norse mythology. So I grabbed it. Once again, $3.79 on Thrift Books. Can't beat that. And then when I was looking for Norse mythology, because that's specifically what he asked for, I found that they have a Delaire book on that. And so this was not Thrift Books. This was on Amazon. It was kind of a splurge item. But we love the Delaire books, especially from last year doing the Read Aloud Revival. We read through several of them for our history. And so my son and I have been reading this before bed. It's a great book, and it's very thick. So I think I paid $9.99 for it, and to me, it's totally worth it. So moving on to more fun schooling books. I also got this fun schooling little journal for him for spelling and cursive. And like I said, fun schooling's it's like creativity mixed with, the important things like grammar and spelling and so it's lots of coloring, sight words and bigger words and copy work and things like that. So my son is a very strong reader. Like I said, he like reads encyclopedias for fun. He's so smart. But writing is not his strong point. And in fact, my 3rd grader is a better writer than him. She's also a girl. So I try not to compare them, but writing is something I would like to see him grow in. And there's copy work in the Minecraft book. There's also copy work in here. And then this is math. I hear somebody talking to me. I have 5 children, so I'm surprised that I've been in here 10 minutes without much interruption. The baby, he's got an excuse. But okay, so math mysteries. What I love about the fun schooling is just like, again, it's the creativity with the numbers. And, I want him to learn math, but he's done workbooks before, and it just kind of, he gets bored and he doesn't want to finish. And I look forward to this. This is like mystery based, and they get to pick the numbers that they want to work with. So every page will have pick 3 numbers that you want to add and subtract and multiply. And I'm certain he's going to enjoy this. He's already been looking through these books and he's really excited for them. So one thing I wanted to talk about is the busy box, because what happens as a homeschool mom with multiple children is one of them will start on independent work, and then I will move on to help someone else, and then all of a sudden the one who's supposed to be doing independent work, has a question or needs me, and sometimes I can zip on over and help them, but lots of times I'm like, you might have to find something to do. And in the past, I've kind of had a hard time keeping them occupied. Bless you. Bless you. I've had a hard time keeping them occupied. So this year I made like a box of like things that they can do while they're waiting on me. And so for Jacob, this is what's in his box, is a crossword puzzle, and it's for kids. It's like a book of crossword puzzles, and they're pretty simple, and that way it kind of reinforces the writing and the reading. There's a word search. Somebody gave this to us for Easter, and I saw it in my homeschool cabinet. I was like, I'm going to put this in his box. He loves word searches, and once again, reading, writing. This is in the box for my girls. This is not for my son, but I found this on Rainbow Resources, and I love Rainbow Resources. It's another place where I get a lot of homeschool material. And then how to draw animals. Drawing is a great thing to do while you're waiting. How to draw dinosaurs. This is what I bought for my son, and he's already been practicing, and he's very committed to being a good artist, and so I was happy to get this for him. And his motivation was just so sweet. My 3-year-old daughter loves dinosaurs, and my son likes to write books. That's a lot of what we did last year too, is they would write their own stories, and we would just like fold computer paper over and staple it, and then they would write a story. So anyway, he wanted to write a story for her about dinosaurs, and he was like, I need to learn how to illustrate my books better. So that was an easy purchase. I think it cost $3 on Amazon. We also have how to draw flowers, how to draw people, so lots of options. This year I did something else that was pretty different for us, but I was at the Dollar Tree buying these baskets from the Dollar Tree, and I found, I just saw the cutest like note cards, and I was like, I want my kids to learn how to write letters. There's just such a lost art, just like sending a letter in the mail. And we live in Texas, and my family lives in North Carolina, so we have grandparents, we have people that we love very much that live far away. So my address stickers, and then I typed this up on the computer. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like how to write a letter, and I have questions to ask. How are you doing? What have you been up to? If they've been sick, are you feeling better? Are there any future plans you're excited for? Questions for you to answer about yourself. I have been very busy with blank. This week I loved when our family blank. I'm really into blank lately. So far I like it or don't like it. So just little things that give them ideas. I don't want them to copy this verbatim, but I want them to start writing our family. I made a list of addresses for them, about 6 addresses of our aunts and uncles and cousins, and of course parents and grandparents, and so these were some of the cards that I got at the Dollar Tree. These are just blank note cards. This is from Target One Spot, which gets me in lots of trouble, but thanks for being you. Super cute. Thank you. Thank you cards for the girls to send, and I put some cool markers in there that I got at like a little discount store just to encourage them to get into this box. So this is another thing for, kind of my busy box. If you need something to do, if you're finished doing your schoolwork and you're waiting for instructions on something else, like write a letter to a family member. I plan on putting stamps in here too. I don't want my 5-year-old going wild with this, but I totally trust my 8 and 10-year-old, and I look forward to putting this to use. So send someone a letter box. So if you have some lag time in your homeschool, send someone a letter, draw a picture, do a crossword puzzle. I have a lot more stuff in my 3-year-old's basket, so I'm gonna do like a little reveal for her basket too, because I found some really cool stuff at the Dollar Tree, and puzzles and things like that. And so that is the brunt of what we're doing. And we do school Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday is, I'm gonna call it 5 in a row Friday. So we love 5 in a row. That one year my son was struggling, we took a year off and just did 5 in a row lap books. And my kids love lap books. They thrive when we do lap books. So So technically the first one we're doing is not 5 in a row, but I found it on homeschoolshare.com. So if you're new to homeschooling, you've got to look up homeschoolshare.com. There's tons of free material, especially on lapbooks. I can't even explain a lapbook. I don't have any examples around me right now, but definitely Google it, look into it. It's great for kids. And this year we're to start out on Fridays, we're gonna do how to make a cherry pie and see the USA. We've read this book probably 100 times. My kids love this book. I love this book. And I found a great lap book for free on homeschoolshare.com. So I'm going to print off the materials and just kind of have them in a folder. So on Fridays, we're just going to have fun. We're going to do history. Last year we started The Light and the Glory for children. This is such a great book. Like, it's one of those books that I read through, and like, I know that we should stop and eat lunch, but we all want to keep reading it. And so we're going to kind of continue the trend of American history. We also have the Dallaire books on that. And so last year we did Christopher Columbus, and next we're going to read Pocahontas. And so we're kind of doing the USA history. I had a puzzle somewhere. I have the USA puzzle, and we're just going to dive into the USA again. That's what we've been working on. So I hope that helps someone. I'm really excited about this year. Like I said, every year we do something different than the year before, and we're just kind of piecing together what works for our family. But I love the fun schooling books. I highly recommend them. We've already, like I said, been kind of trying to figure out what's going to work best for us, and this just kind of fits right into what I believe, and that's that I want my kids to love learning. That is my number one goal. Like, if my kids love to learn, they can do anything, and they can teach themselves anything. And so along with kind of the structure of the journal, I also want to get them into research. And so the cool thing about fun schooling is they get to pick their own. It's very similar to unschooling, I guess. They get to pick their subjects. And so they have been telling me already, like, why did you buy such fun stuff? And we can't even, do it right now. So they can't wait to start school. But I'm trying to wait till a date. I'm trying to wait till like August 11th. I think that's when we're going to start. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. If you have any questions or comments, I didn't say much about math. I think we're going to look through Con Math this year. I didn't buy a curriculum. Last year I did, and I did not like it. And the year before that I did, and I didn't like it. So kind of in limbo. So if you have a math curriculum you like, I'm open. I'm always learning. Like, I am always learning and changing and kind of forming what we do for school. So I'm open to any ideas, what works for you. But as far as the reading and writing and grammar and all of that, and just developing that capacity to love learning, I definitely recommend all the books, and yeah, start there. So thanks for watching.